Thanks to the coof, we're all rethinking about how we travel around the country. That's if we'll actually ever have the chance to afford traveling again. This complete shakeup in the travel industry has one person, at least, to see the light, even if it's just for the moment. That's according to Victoria Walker on The Points Guy, why I'm temporarily switching my loyalty to Amtrak. An interesting point was brought up about how the spread of the coof in the year of our apocalypse 2020 may get the public to reassess the way people move around in this country. No doubt it's been an eventful year with strange happenings. The brink of nuclear Armageddon, blazing fires, the plague, civil unrest, and floods. Next they'll tell me that aliens exist. We're for As crazy as all this is, what may be the craziest thing is Americans considering taking the train, for obvious reasons put by Walker in her article. Quote, "I likely won't step foot on a plane again this year given inconsistent social distancing policies, and bus travel is entirely out of the question." Now, why would Americans skip out on the airlines even more so currently? Is it the long wait lines and incompetent, bomb-bungling TSA lines? Passenger dissatisfaction of the treatment from airline personnel at an ever-growing all-time high this past decade? The fact that airlines are one of the biggest corporate welfare queens in the American travel industry? All of those reasons are true, but now add on that some airlines blatantly don't care if you get sick. I'm gonna coof! Just pay the ticket and get in there like some good sardines you are. And don't forget to pay your taxes too, we'll be needing that. This was the scene on one American Airlines flight and another one on United. So much for the required social distancing.
Well, I think it makes it really hard to trust the airlines right now. They're telling you they'll try to keep the middle seats open. They're telling people they should be wearing masks, and then they say they can't really enforce it. I think for travelers, what it comes down to is that you're taking a risk if you're flying right now.
They're also not forcing passengers to wear masks, as many places now require, just simply encouraging them. That's just about as good as encouraging a tourist in Key West to wear their shirt and stop drinking. Good luck. This concern of inconsistency of mask requirements and blocking middle seats is why Americans like Walker don't trust taking airlines during the year of the coof. Whether you believe that masks should or should not be required or are effective is not the subject of this video. Truth is, planes are great for the spreading of germs, and it's not because the air is recycled. In fact, the air you breathe on board is exchanged about 20 times an hour or about every 3 minutes, as seen on this image from All Nippon Airlines. Airflow is constantly moving from forward to the aft of the aircraft through a cycle, being mixed with new air drawn from the jets, mixed with old air, and flows through HEPA filters that catch viruses. The real concern is the close proximity you spend on a flight, hours at a time. Back in 2003, when SARS was apparently supposed to kill us all, an infected passenger on the flight from Hong Kong to Beijing got 22 out of 120 other passengers sick. Those most at risk were 3 seats in front of the Chad super spreader. This animation shows how quickly it spreads and lingers in the air, as cough and sneeze droplets that carry the virus tend to linger in the air more than simply dissipate into the cabin recycling system. This is a similar worry on coach buses like Megabus, Greyhound, and other intercity charter services. You're stuck next to coofers for the duration of the trip, in a confined space that doesn't have anywhere near the filtration capabilities of aircraft. The only time you get up is to leave or go to the medieval torture prison-style bathrooms on most buses. The gods of travel be with thee if thou requires to sitteth next to said latrine. Unlike the airline industry, busing has far less clout to get Uncle Sam's fun bucks of extorted funds to keep themselves artificially afloat. To a man with the most Indiana name, John Miller of Miller Transportation in Indiana, trust me, every 5th Hoosier you meet here is named John Miller. His analogy says it best for how the government isn't going to bail out the bus companies. So it's like in the movie where the ants are going against the grasshoppers, Miller said. There's an awful lot of us, but there are none that are really that big to carry that much weight. Whereas the airlines, man, those are some big boys. Come to think of it, it really is like that movie. The one with the ants. You know, the one with the bugs. Come on. Man, what's it called? Yes! B-movie. That's the one.
I like jazz.
Back to the article. Amtrak in the US has an opportunity to gain new riders and keep them. While in its nearly 50 years of service, 2020 was going to be the year Amtrak finally made a profit. It was all ruined by that little I hate you! But with great chaos comes great opportunity, as Uncle Joe once told Bruce Wayne in Catwoman. Amtrak has been consistent with cleaning up heavily trafficked areas, even closing and completely disinfecting America's most traveled train station, Penn Station, between midnight and 5 a.m. every day. It's enforcing its rule that everyone wears a mask on board, installing hand sanitizing stations, consistently keeping seats empty to ensure social distancing, and even putting more effort into its ticketing app to make it more convenient for passengers to get on board, sans contact with other human beings. It's the introvert's dream. This gives Americans more relief and confidence that their journey on Amtrak will be a safe one, including Victoria Walker. On top of that, trains are more optimally spaced to allow for social distancing, giving you not just more room to stretch compared to planes and buses, but also to keep you further away from sick passengers. You also have the ability to get up and move about on trains like Amtrak, so you aren't confined to one area, mitigating the proximity and perceived density of travelers in one place at a time, thus decreasing the spread of the coof. Hopefully it doesn't take a pandemic for America to realize that train travel needs to be taken more seriously in America as part of our infrastructure system. As the rest of the modern world is riding on 200-mile-an-hour bullet trains and robust metro system, albeit at a reduced capacity for obvious reasons now, America has fallen far behind despite being the leader in passenger rail infrastructure in the previous century. In the past several years, we've seen projects in Florida, Texas, California, and elsewhere begin to take shape and even start services. There have been plenty of wins for passenger rail this year, even with the ongoing craziness. If you want to be up to speed on what's new in the world of trains, be sure to subscribe to the American Rail Club and like this video so that others can get informed. Video projects I'm currently working on include a realistic economic vision for revitalizing the country out of its diseased depression through regional rail systems built by Americans for Americans, as well as another big video comparing the New York subway to the Tokyo metro system, two behemoths of city travel. Both systems I've written on extensively and how they compare and contrast in terms of construction, equipment, funding, service, operation, and what lessons we can take from it. Definitely exciting things on the railroad here. Thank you for writing. We'll see you on board next time.